Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. Guys are doing well, so having a wonderful day. Today we are doing day 3 of weight loss. You're gonna see me with lifting weights, which have nothing to do with the video. So I just wanted to do a little disclaimer. Again, we are the 26th March 2025. Welcome. You guys are having a wonderful day. Let's get right into it. So the video today is what I've learned in 4 years of content, and this is similar to the video where that I've watched recently, which was the top. And the beauty of the top. No, this is not a sexual video, sadly, but it's something that you. It's a learning curve, if you will. And it's a learning curve in this sense of, okay, well, I've been doing this for a while, and I've been learning shortcuts, and I've been learning things. So what has 4 years of content creation meant to me? What have I learned? So I am extremely grateful because I've learned so much thanks to content creation. So one of the things that I learned was I'm actually more dependable than I thought. And it's a journey because I came in and I was expecting to be successful, but I didn't even know what it means to be successful. See, it's kind of crazy thing because you're pushing the first year. Because so this is the worst way to start a video. This is the worst way to picture stuff, but it makes sense. Interesting. So you start making content, right? And the first thing that you learn is that you like it. And the second thing that you learn is like, okay, well, if I like it, I want to do it. So I want to do it more and more and more and more. It's like a hobby. And then there's a thought that creeps in your mind. And that thought is a very simple thought. What if I could take this hobby and do it all the time? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be nice? Right? This is exactly what happened with content creation as a whole. So I'm actually more dependent. So when I came in, my first thought was it was gonna be me against other people. So once again, I'm making content, they're making content, we're playing the same game. People want to watch this game, they're gonna have to choose what they're gonna watch, right? And it actually brings up a sort of competitiveness of the field. But then the craziest thing isn't the competitiveness of the field, is the actual whole genre. So for example, right? There's this person, we're gonna call him Jane Doe. Okay? I'm gonna call her, let's make it a woman. Why not? A woman can watch video games also, right? And she is looking for video games. So she's browsing and she's looking for new video games, and then she finds a indie game. For example, we'll say Hollow Knight, we'll say Dead Cell, we'll say Disco Elysium, we'll say Five Nights at Freddy, because Five Nights at Freddy, believe it or not, is an indie game. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. And it's about like, holy shit, there's so many of us doing something, right? So then you think about your content and you think about how to improve your content, right? And we're gonna get into the end. At the very end, I'm gonna tell you guys the most important lesson that I've learned. So you're trying to find a way, and this is where the content creation really takes a path for the more artsy style of content. So the more artsy style of content is actually quite nice because you're having a person saying, hey, I'm playing this game, they're playing this game, or hey, I want some viewer and I need to improve. Now, ultimately speaking, we're all playing the same game, we're all doing the same thing, but it's how we do it that matters. It's how you sell that matters, actually. So you start to understand that the person is more important than what you're doing. And it took me so long to understand that the person is more important than the content being put out. I can put out my window. I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. This is a bonus for the people that are watching this. How I got the idea for the putting my phone in the window and just watching the sun and the cloud. Wanna know how I thought about it? It was last winter. I was spending Christmas alone, right? And I was watching a fireplace. I was like, holy shit. And I look at the number of views for the fireplace. And I'm like, holy shit. That's not half bad, right? So what I started to do was to notice that, okay, well, guess what? There's this many people that are watching a fireplace. And I started looking at other landscapes. So we're starting to look at water because I'm an Aquarius. I'm also in a coastal town, so I started looking at the water. There was a lot of views. So I'm like, holy shit. And then a urban city. Now, the beauty of it is you don't get ambient sounds, right? So you don't hear people talking, you don't hear people screaming or swearing. It's actually really peaceful. And then you understand that people just want to look at nature. So this is where the idea came from, but this is some of the laziest content I've ever done, right? So this is also something that you sell. This is my home. I'm letting you guys in my home, right? And it's not always gonna work because you're gonna be like, hey, I don't care. I find it you don't care, but I think the beauty of it is, for example, you watch those shows, right? And you watch those shows and you're watching the behind the scenes. So hey, this is a set. Wow, is this really the accessory they use in the show? Like, yeah, it is. It is. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. So now I have to check. Okay, I have to check something. Quick. I have to check out how many storage that I have. Yes, one of the things that I learned is multitasking. Multitasking. So one of the things that I've also learned, right? Oh wow. Give me a sec, guys. Look at this. On a Saturday, we're gonna see this in the sky. So it's gonna be beautiful. The question is, are we gonna be able to see it or no? And the answer is, I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me? Okay, so 17 gigs. Okay. That is kind of good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to here. One of the other lessons that I'm learning, which is exactly this. We're talking about multitasking, but we're also talking about, okay, so how do I want to spend my day? Right? And that was more how can I call this? That was more apparent when I was working, because like, okay, well, I got 7 hours to make content. What are we doing? How are we doing it? Are we going to be able to do this, that? And if we're able to, how do we put it up? Now, I forgot to do something. Shit. There you go. We just forgot to post video. It's not a big deal. So one thing you learn is how I want to spend my day multitasking. So one of the big lessons for me, and it's nice because this video will seem very, very pretentious. Like, oh, he thinks he knows what the fuck he's doing. No. The reality is, I want to do this video because I want to be able to look back at it in 1 year and say, oh, I can't believe this is how I used to think, right? The fact that we're multitasking, it's not so much about how much content you put out, is how well you put it out. So for example, we film a lot, so it's always a question of storage management. So the question of, we don't have the best Wi-Fi, so how can we upload almost on a non-stop basic and never face real consequences? So of course there's consequences. Of course there's a higher meaning than just film. But it's also the fact that you're able to put all of this in a clean path, I used to really think about the title. Now I just let the creative flow. To me, it was really important to write down the exact name of the product. However, all I had to do is put a picture of the product and then mention the product, and people will see it. And if people want to comment and say, hey, what the hell did you eat? Well, this is a comment, and a comment equates to engagement. And YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, every single social platform will love engagement. They will value more a person that has more engagement than views to the certain degree, which is absolutely phenomenal. They will push more video of somebody that has more engagement than a person that has 1 million followers, which again, I think is the new norm, right? When we look at things. So I find it very interesting. Another thing that I noticed was the content I'm doing, right? So at first, the content I was doing was a lot of the content I wanted to do. It wasn't something that, oh, you should do this. Oh, this is what's popular right now. This is a trend. And I do believe that making the content you want is actually super important. So lately, I've been looking at a lot of other content creator, and I watched a documentary on a dude, K-pop, which is one of the Q-pop. I don't know his name. One of the most popular YouTuber back then. and it had a burnout. And you look at so many people that had burnout, and they were also always pushing content. We went through a burnout of making content also, because we were trying to rush things, right? And even though this burnout was a long time coming, I should have reached it so long ago. But what maintained me sane, what maintained me good, that was doing the content that I wanted to do. I was doing things that I found was fun. I was using content creation as a way to be social, as a and it's not about locking in my case. A lot of people could be locking in, need to be breathe, dream, think about content creation. To me it was more like, hey, I need to do this because I got nothing else to do. This is the best use of my time today, tomorrow, after 2 days, this week, this month. We did that for 1 year, right? Another part that was really important to me was understanding your community. So a lot of people think about demographics, right, which is a term that we use, which means like, okay, well, the people that watches you, the age group, where they're from, or there's more male, female, in between, and yes, it's true, but it's also understanding what who's watching your video. And in my case, I'm extremely lucky because it's more so on the personal basic. It's, I know you, that you're watching my videos, and I know you by name, which is freaking phenomenal, because not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can say I know people in my community, right? This is always super cool, because there's a friend that I have, Janice, right? And he has this love for Kinder Bueno. So whenever I do a Kinder Bueno video, I think about him, right? So it's understanding to who I'm making this video. And I think the most important lesson was to have fun, you know? I'm looking at my content, and I know it's not of like big quality. I'm seeing a lot of people that are a lot more talented than I am, getting a lot less result than I am. And I feel extremely lucky, but I feel bad for them. So how do we fix that? Well, understanding that it's Janice again that told me that we put in so much hard work. It's one thing to want result. I'm seeing a lot of people put in effort and like, hey, it didn't work, fuck, it doesn't work. But also, one of the most important lessons was I learned that if I post a video today, it might not work today. It might work in 3 months and 4 months. I don't freaking know. And that was a huge lesson for me. That was a huge lesson in the sense of being patient. I'm not a patient person, but I was forced in being patient. There's days where you question, what are you doing? Why is it not working? Will it ever work? And the answer is possibly no. But I'm so glad I'm still here. And if 4 years of concentration taught me something, it's never give up. It's being grateful for what you have, but be hungry for what you can get. It's being grateful for the people that are watching your videos, but also understanding that they're a watcher. I've dealt with a lot of feeling of imposture, where I felt like, oh, the content I'm doing is not great enough for people to watch it. But then I'm producing content and I'm doing it for free, you know. So if people are receptive to it, it's amazing. If they're not receptive to it, it's also cool. And also one of the things that I'm hurrying up because we have 2% battery, so I'm gonna finish the video on that. But one of the best things that I've learned from content creation is the fact that it's also okay to take your time. It's also okay to do whatever you want. And it's also okay, and this is the most important lesson, but to understand that this is your passion project. This is your channel. This is your property. And I've learned so much about myself by hearing myself talk. And this is what I'm most grateful for. The life experience. Love you guys. Take it easy. 1% battery. Peace.